Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started without further ado. It is late and I don't want to keep you up. I want to thank everybody who's shown up so far. A&W, Boston D, Deltox, Dranaway, Foul, Legacy, Hades Motion, Indigo, XIV, Hiko-chan, Mew Whale, Nick Tab, Lysol Genius, Sujan 30, Vihan 726, and T-Cell. For those of you who have just come for the first time, I want to go ahead and welcome you to our lovely stream. My name is Mr. Little, and we're going to go ahead and get started. And today we're just going to do some content reviewing, and yeah, let's see if we can keep this hat on. It didn't quite work last time, but we're going to see. We're going to try to stay in the festive spirit. So yeah, just a couple ground rules before we get going. Of course, we want to keep it kind of respectful. You know, this is is not a Christian server, as you might say, but this is a server where we like to treat each other with kindness and respect. Okay. So, and of course, it's always better when you participate. If you got questions, if you have ideas, please, by all means, ask away. Or even better, you can always jump in the Discord. We can do some voice chat. If it's like a super complicated question, by all means. By the way, we are doing the punctual attendance raffle. So it's the first raffle of the night for those who show up on time. So feel free to go ahead and enter that. That'll be closing in about 2 minutes. But we're going to go ahead and get started. A few things that are just going to change about tonight is that we're going to actually, in addition to doing some content review, I've decided we're going to throw in some movie clips. We're going to watch 2 clips. Actually, we're going to watch 3 clips. One from a movie, one from a TV series, and one from a YouTuber who makes really funny little history videos, not myself, although I do like this guy, this particular history YouTuber. And then we'll do some multiple choice practice. It's not Bill Wirtz. He's good, but this guy, he's not as funny as Bill Wirtz, but his animations are just killer. So we're going to watch one of his videos. It's exactly 2.5 minutes long, so not too much. But alrighty, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it because it's getting late and we're not getting any younger. So we're going to go ahead and set up, as per usual, our lovely quiz. I'm going to go ahead and pop on over to the review page, and it should be heading up there right now. Bada bingo. There we go. So there's your join code. Salmonella? No, I don't know who Salmonella is. Snowy Owl, don't worry. There'll be another one. There will be another one, promise. There'll be at least 4. I usually try to do at least 4 raffles per stream. So thank you, Dranaway. We're trying to get in the holiday spirit just a little bit. Doing backflips. Wow. Didn't know they were that good, but I appreciate the compliment. I do appreciate the compliment. It's very nice. Awesome. All right, we've got our first 2. We're going to go ahead and keep this open for exactly 4 minutes. Let people show up and pop in. Of course, people can join at any time, but we want to make sure we get everybody started on the right path. But just while we wait and get those people in, just a really brief overview about what Unit 3 is. So if you're one of my students, our particular textbook doesn't go by the units as they were redesigned in 2018. Our textbook goes by the old units, but this Unit 3 roughly corresponds to chapters 22 through 27 in our textbook. Here's Amin, how are we doing? And Muel, thanks so much. But yeah, so all-nighter coming. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. We're going to be out of here by 10. I promise to have you out of here by 10. But anyways, as I was saying, if you are TBHK, not sure. But if you are a, what was I going to say? If you're not one of my students, if you don't go to our class, where our textbook is chapter 23 to 27, and this is the Unit 3, and so this one is this is like the land empire. So these are like the big empires during the period 1450 to 1750. So anytime after the end of the Middle Ages to the beginning of the Age of Revolutions. But it's any of those that are not overseas, right? That don't have a large sea presence, but are based contiguously inland. That's kind of how they distinguish them. Now, do I think that's a great way to organize a course? Absolutely not. But you know what? Hey, it's College Board. Okay, with that said, it looks like we've got some people we're going to start with. So we're going to pick our first winner of the night. And it looks like Indigo 14. Congratulations. You are our first winner of the evening. And we're going to go ahead and reopen for any of those who'd like to get in on that. We're going to reopen that. So anyone who missed it the first time can go ahead and get in on that. And with 11 folks, I think that's a good starting point. But we'll leave it open for one more minute just to let anybody get in there who didn't have a chance to get in there. Your whale, why is it C? I want to know why it's C. Why is a pirate's favorite letter C? I want to know. Indigo 14, you're already in there. Sail the sea. Okay, okay. That's good. That's good. You officially have the right to be a dad. Your dad humor pass has been tested. Your dad humor test has been passed. Congratulations. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. My favorite one though is where does a 500-pound gorilla sit? Where does a 500-pound gorilla sit? Anybody know? Where does a 500-pound gorilla sit? Anywhere he wants. Drum snare. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and get started on that terrible dad humor note. Let's launch into our wonderful questions here, starting off with the classic Mughal Empire. Mughal Empire. Oops. So, one of the things to keep in mind about all these empires is that their expansion was predicated on one very particular piece of technology. Move this over here so I can see it. All of the above. I don't know if it's all the above, but it is one very particular piece of technology, right? Maybe you could say one more than the other. You could say one more than the other. Let's see. What do we got here? And whoop. Gooseberry Grinch out front. Yeah, it's those gunpowder based weapons. Whoops. Oh, you can't seem to see the answer on here. Hang on. Let me drag this up a little bit so you can see it. Hang on. I'm gonna shrink that, move it up. There we go. Now we can see everything. Dope. Okay. Yeah, gunpowder. And this is going to be pretty much if you get any question about any of, especially the three Islamic empires and how they grew in strength, the answer is pretty much always going to be gunpowder of some sort. Gunpowder of some sort. So next, let's keep it going. Yeah, no, pretty much after the Mongols, who themselves, we shouldn't discard Genghis Khan. He also had a penchant for gunpowder, or his successors did. I don't know if he did, but yeah. Pretty much people, gunpowder became really prominent after that. So when talking about the Ottomans and Safavids, how did the rulers of those states continue to justify their ongoing conflict? Not what created their conflict, but what justified it. This cultural event happened long before the actual conflicts between the Safavids, right? That would be the famed Sunni Shia split, which happened way back. That's only like 700 CE, right? Way before the Ottomans and way before the Safavids. But they appealed to this to try to justify their claims because the Safavids were Shia and the Ottomans were Sunni. Were all the Islamic gunpowder empires all the Islamic empires considered gunpowder empires? Oh yeah. Yes, they all were to varying degrees. To varying degrees, yes. That is absolutely correct. And then there were a couple of states outside those three Islamic empires that are also sometimes considered gunpowder empires, like the Chinese dynasties. Songhai and Russia are also considered gunpowder empires. Boom. So, of these, which do you think is a land-based empire? Let's see if we can get this one. Let's see if we can get this one right. Should have put this one later in as kind of a shakeup, but hopefully it was pretty obvious what we were trying to do. Yes, none of these seem right. None of these are correct. And of course, I'm being facetious here when I mentioned earlier that I hate the fact the College Board divides this time period up between land and sea. I think is incredibly stupid, considering that like one of the largest land empires, the Ottoman Empire, had a huge naval rivalry with Portugal in the Indian Ocean, which was like way far away from its home like base in the Eastern Mediterranean. So I don't particularly like this distinction. So this is how I like to show it, right? But anyways, for those who got it, congratulations. We'll just consider this a shakeup. We'll do this. We'll consider this a shakeup. So, which of these is not a gunpowder empire? Hopefully, we can figure this out since I just answered this a minute ago. Hopefully, we got this one. And here's a map if you need it. Let's see, can we get it? Can we get all 12 before the timer gets up? Can we do it? Can we do it? Is it possible? Oh, snap. Ooh, all right. Tell me we got it. Tell me we got it. Oh, come on. Okay, no shake up in the leaderboard. That's not good. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Yes, the Timurids. The Timurids. Although, it's worth noting that the Timurids prefaced and pretty much gave birth to all three of the Islamic gunpowder empires, had a huge influence. In fact, Babur, who founded the Mughals, he was a Timurid prince. So we can give a lot of credit to the Timurids, but they themselves are not considered by historians to be a gunpowder empire. But they get a lot of credit. They're very important in the history of the region. Dope. Speaking of which, and maybe this would help for some people, the visuals, to answer Indigo's question a little more in detail. Maybe we should really quick just take a look at this world map, just so that we know what's going on and like where we find a particular empire. So if we look at this map, we're going to zoom in just a little bit, right? I'm going to just zoom in a touch, right? And so here we see concentrated sort of in what we now call the Middle East and South Asia. We've got your Mughal Empire, your Safavid Empire, your Ottoman Empire. You've got the Qing Dynasty over here. And for some reason, the College Board insists that we talk about Tokugawa era Japan, which is over here, right? In addition, although it's not on this map because it was gone by the time this map was made in 1600, you used to have the Songhai Empire here in West Africa. Additionally, you've got the large, physically expansive Russian Empire up here, just kind of making its way across the steppes of Siberia. Woohoo! So that's where you find most of your land-based empires. You could make a claim that there are a couple of other land-based empires, like sometimes the Inca, who aren't here anymore because it's Spain. And then you could also make the case for the Aztecs, and some people have even made the case for the Congo Kingdom down here. But I'll let other people be the judge of that. I'll let other people be the judge of that. The Ottoman siege of the Acropolis in 1826. Do you mean where it was almost destroyed? I think any time that an ancient building is almost destroyed in the name of war, I think that's always a sad thing. I think that is a sad, sad thing, if that's what you're asking, Muel. Are the European empires? Yeah, pretty much by default, they're always considered. They're like lumped in. There's no need to distinguish them. Hang on a second. All right, let's get another winner real quick. Now that we've got about 4 questions in. Let's get another winner. Straw Sheep Gamer, it's always good to see you. Let's go, winner. Who do we got? Oh, did you, Alex? What a surprise. We'll have to have an extra one just for that. Does that answer your question, Ibnerby? Okay, coolio. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it going. Large buildings, such as the Palace of Versailles, helped reinforce ideas of... There's only one answer here. What did large buildings such as the Palace of Versailles help reinforce? What idea or set of ideas? hope we got this one. I hope we got it. Oh, let's see. Oh, snap. We got some mix-up on the leaderboards and people moving. Yes, divine right of kings, right? I am the king, and I have the right to rule divinely. The Lord has given me the power as the king to rule. It's just going to take a long time. We've got some people who aren't participating, so I'm going to remove one person who's just kind of chilling just so we can make sure that we are keeping it going, because I don't want to keep you guys here all night because we got to let the clock count down. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it going. So gunpowder weapons are a game changer for 2 of the following reasons. Check all that apply. Gunpowder weapons are a game changer at this time in history, and why is that? Tell why is that? Check the 2 that apply. Let's see. Has everyone picked yet? No. Still one person. It's Lavender. Oh, no, we got everybody. Yes. Awesome. So, let's see. Any mix-up on the leaderboards? Ooh, a little bit. Lima Lorax coming up. Yes. So, why are gunpowder weapons so effective during this time in particular? Right? Well, the main thing is that they were easy to train. You could easily train a peasant, potentially, give them a gun, and give them a training regiment, and you potentially had a fighting force that was very effective without a lot of training. And they helped end the domination of horse-mounted armies. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in just a second. This one about the nobles doesn't make a lot of sense. If anything, they weakened the role of nobles. They didn't increase it. And while this would eventually be true in the future, at least in the beginning, the guns were actually very difficult to make. Only like an empire could make a large amount of them, right? So this would eventually be true later on in history, but in the beginning, not quite. So to illustrate what I mean, I'd like to tell you about the Battle of Nagashino, which took place in the mid-1500s in Japan during their Sengoku period, when they were kind of having their own warring states episode. So this battle is important because it helped determine who was going to lead a future Japan, but B, it was a demonstration of the power of firearms, the power of firearms. So we're going to watch a real quick 2-minute clip from a Japanese TV series from the 1990s, which depicts this Battle of Nagashino. Now, what you need to know is that in this battle, the two people that we're seeing it from the perspective of are Tokugawa Ieyasu and Oda Nobunaga, both of whom will eventually play a key role in uniting Japan. They are attempting to relieve a siege of a castle, right? And so they've arrived at this castle that's being besieged by a rival house, and they've set up a defensive perimeter, and the rival house is going to attack them to try to stop them from breaking the siege. So let's see how that goes. Shall we? This is from a 1990s Japanese TV series called Nobunaga, King of Japan. And I believe it just tells the story of Oda Nobunaga's rise to power and then eventual tragic betrayal and how he never got to be leader of Japan. So let's take a watch. We're going to watch for about 2 minutes, so no need to worry. Yeah, Nobunaga was a real one in many ways. Let me actually, before I hit play, let me make sure that the computer audio is on so you guys can hear. Okay, let's go. So these are the forces of, well, not these guys doing the drum thing. Now, there are no subtitles. I'm not entirely sure. So these guys we're seeing here, these are Oda Nobunaga's and Ieyasu's forces. Yeah, he got betrayed. It was sad. I believe that is Nobunaga himself, I think. I could be mistaken. think that's actually I think these are the Ieyasu forces. I think that's the. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know my daimyo banners very well. This is maybe Obunaga. Thank Kiko-chan. You really know your Japanese history. It's pretty cool. Here come the heavily mounted samurai cavalry. I honestly think one of my favorite parts about watching that is that you can see during the second cavalry charge that the camera is literally shaking because the horses are pushing on the ground so much. But what are you guys getting into up here? There's some salt going on in my chat. Come on, let's not do that. Anyways, the point is here, right? Notice how even though there were these heavily armed, very powerful warriors, right, that even though the power of the horse, and horses are scary, by the way. If you have a horse coming at you at full speed, that's terrifying. I've never had the experience of never had the experience of a horse coming at me full speed, but I imagine watching a horse gallop at full speed, it'd be pretty scary. So, and also the commander, whose name I'm forgetting here, who ordered the charges, he actually had done this before against Ieyasu at a previous battle. And it actually worked. It broke the musket people. It broke the firearm people, and they ran away. So he wasn't necessarily like crazy for thinking it might work again. But the difference was at that battle, there weren't these wooden palisades that you see here. These wooden palisades, those weren't there. And so this time, because they were there, it made a lot of difference. So this and a couple of other battles historically sort of symbolized the gradual removal of horse-mounted cavalry as like the defining weapon of war. And of course, there's a lot of very particular things you may notice, like the mechanical nature of how they swapped positions, right? So when one came out and then they fired, let's see if we can find it, right? They swapped. So the one line would fire and then the other line would replace them, go out, come in, because it takes a long time to reload. Yes, that's true. What a thousand, well, exactly, what if thousands of horses are charging at you? What if you are, well, well, that's the thing. That's the thing, Kikuchen. Like that is what horsemen depend on. They depend on you running because if you break and you run, then they can run you down and put a spear through your back probably. That's the idea. They need you to break. That's why horses have been so effective for so long historically because all you got to do is scare the people that are there and make them run away. That's how the Mongols built their massive empire. So, anyways, just thought we take a little side chat. We'll see a couple other clips in the future. Okay, let's run at the horse. just run at the horse. I know it's a almost half a ton animal. Cool. Alrighty, let's talk about tax collection. Tax collection. Run faster. Run faster. That's the secret. All right. What about empires collecting taxes? Actually, you know what the other cool thing about that video clip was that you can tell those horses were trained to fall over. Like you could tell how they kind of like almost sat. You can see a couple of them almost like sit. They're like very well trained animals. So all of these are examples of tax collection, except what? Which of these are not taxes? Oh, let's see. We got it. Yes, the Devshirme. That's a system of soldier recruitment, right? Yes, they fell over because they were scared when they saw you running. Fair enough. They got you. Yeah, Devshirme is a form of soldier recruitment. It's not a form of taxation, right? Although, I mean, I guess some opponents of the system call it a blood tax, but it's a little hyperbolic, right? Respect the drip. Hurdle training? Hurdle training? Like track and field hurdle training? Everything is taxes. Well, no, that's true. The only thing unavoidable in this life is death or taxes. Okay, well, there we go. Well, we know. Cool. So let's talk about the culturally or religiously tolerant. Now, the Islamic gunpowder empires are known for having a degree of cultural tolerance that was unseen by some of their predecessors. And this is in part because they're all descended from the Mongols, right? All of them are descended from the Mongols. So this tradition, right, it remains. So, but which one of these were the least? And then we'll talk about why. Okay, who's got it? It looks like, whoop, Gooseberry Grinch moving up. The Safavids. All right, that is great. Now, in Soviet Russia, horses don't run, and Meanwhile runs at horses. Philosophical going on here, turn up into Rousseau. Oh, please, not Rousseau. Anyone but Rousseau. That guy was insufferable. So yeah, the Safavids, and the reason why the Safavids was because the Safavids had a very messianic leader. The House of Safavid, the leader, I believe this is a depiction of him, Shah Ismaili, who believed in Twelver Shi'ism very fervently. It's a very particular form of Shi'ism, but he made very strong efforts to convert the local population of Persia or Iran to Twelver Shi'ism. And I may be mistaken, but I think this is a depiction of the story in which he told a group of prominent members of, told a group of prominent individuals, he's like, look, you're going to join my religion or I'm going to cut your head off. That's the kind of conversion he was going for. His predecessors relaxed that a little bit, but he was very much in that sort of vein, like, yo, join my religion or die. Cool. All right, let's see. We'll do another giveaway at 10 questions. So let's keep it going. Booyah. So leaders would commission great works of art and architecture for all the following reasons, except why wouldn't or couldn't leaders commission work of art? Oh, don't worry, Sirajdeep. One more question, we'll get it. This one should be pretty easy. I feel like we got this one. Booyah. All done. Let's go. All right, who's on the leaderboard? Yes, physical strength. A little bit of an easy one there, but I hope you got that right. Piety, military power, wealth, physical strength? Not really. Unless it's like a training ground. And a couple of rulers did create training grounds for themselves. Single-con, thanks so much for joining us. Awesome. Next question, let's go. Yeah, no worries. This is question 10. So, all of the following are great works of art and architecture from land-based empires. Check all that apply. Actually, yes, Snowy Owl, I'm running out of those Mughal Empire stickers. I gotta order some more. I'm also trying to get some stickers ready for next semester. I'm trying to come up with some designs. If y'all have any ideas, feel free to drop by the Discord and let me know. I do take suggestions. Yeah, Indigo 14. Yeah, that's true. That's also kind of a joke, right? Most of these leaders themselves didn't actually build them. They just paid people to build them. If anything, it might be military strength. That physics sticker. Well, hopefully we'll get it done. I'm gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I can give that one out at school. I think that one's a little too. That might be a stream exclusive. Yes. So it was all of them except for the Grand Canal, because that's infrastructure, right? Not per se a work of art, but a work of infrastructure, right? As for all the other ones, the Sun Temple, the Inca, the Red Fort, the Forbidden City, the Taj Mahal, whoever passed you, well, I think it's good. Okay, 10 question in raffle. Let's go. I'm gonna open it back up. So anybody who you clicked the wrong one, yeah. Oh, and the controller's broken. I know, right? The controller's broken. Okay, the raffle's back open. If you haven't had a chance to enter it, go ahead and enter it now. We'll do one more question, then we'll pick a couple winners. All right, let's go. All righty. So, what separates the empires in this time period from old empires that we've talked about in the past? Well, there's a couple things that separate them. Check all that apply. Let's see, we got 3 out of 11. And remember, the key word here is centralizing. Centralizing. Keyword here, centralizing. Let's see. Got 7 of 11. Single-con, I think you're already in the raffle. Let's see. Yeah, it was all of them except the second one, right? So tax collection, promoting trade, mainly to make money, as well as structuring religious authorities around the state. So in other words, getting the priest to say that the king is good. Cool, let's see. So let's complete the entries. Let's close entries and let's pick some winners. We'll pick 2 winners because we're about to watch a clip. So let's pick a winner real quick. Who's got it? Why, it's Snowy Owl. Congratulations. Congrats. Alrighty. We're going to watch another clip really quick. So remember how I said there was a wouldn't promoting trade not centralize the government? Nah, promoting trade would be a way you could tax it. You're right that it's not one of the better ways to do it, right? But if you could promote trade under your control, that would be a way you could get some of that sweet trade money. Let's see. I'll open the. I'll tell you what. Let me open the. I'll open the entries back up. We'll watch this clip, and then anybody who showed up and wants to join can. So, what we're going to do to kind of get an idea about why tax collection is so important is we're going to check. We're going to peep this clip from this YouTube creator that I really like, and he does little history videos. And so we're going to go ahead and watch it. It's only about 2 minutes long, or 2.5 minutes long. He's going to talk about tax collecting in medieval times, and we can talk about how that's different from tax collecting in the early modern period. So let's go.
Nowadays, when you pay your taxes, it's done in several ways. Either you get a bill at the end of the tax year, or it comes out of your paycheck before you even see it. Of course, this level of bureaucratic sophistication didn't exist during the medieval period, which raises the question, how were medieval taxes actually collected? How did a ruler extract taxes from their subjects, and what sort of things were subject to tax? Well, across Europe, many states had varying levels of centralization which affected how taxes were collected. One state which spanned thousands of miles and also the entire medieval period was the Eastern Roman Empire, often called the Byzantine Empire, and the one we'll focus on. This is because it was a well-developed state with both a large urban and rural population. So, how were these taxes actually collected? Well, to everyone's surprise, the people who bore the brunt of taxation were the peasantry, and there were two major forms of taxation in the Byzantine Empire. The first was rent, which a peasant paid to their local lord in return for the right to use land, and the second was the telumenon, the household tax which was paid to the central government. Rent was based upon the value and productivity of the land in question and for the most part was determined by the lord. The household tax was determined by central tax collectors who would travel across the empire and take inventory of who had what. The tax collectors would then leave and come back soon after to collect the demanded taxes, and the responsibility lay with the lord to make sure it was paid. Both the tax collectors and the lord would then make a note of how much was paid and who paid it to make sure that taxes weren't collected twice, and off they'd go. Now, there were three ways in which
So this, what he's just described, having having lords go around. Oh, Doja Car, what's up? Having lords go around and kind of collect taxes is what kings were doing. During this time. The difference is it was just way, way more efficient, right? So what we're talking like the French Empire of Louis XIV versus the French Empire of like Louis VIII. You got your tax collection being like way more efficient, and we're going to talk about one of the big difference real quick.
Which peasants could pay their taxes. The first was simply in coin, the second was in kind, like handing over the equivalent value of their produce, and the third was via unpaid labour, and this was used for things like the construction of public roads or churches. In case you're wondering, the nobility and the clergy were given what were called privileges, which reduced their tax burden. All of this makes it sound like the
Also, by the way, nobility and clergy being exempted from taxes, that's going to cause huge problems down the line, Yeah, Louis XVI got his head chopped off. Louis XIV was the one who built the big old palace. Now, the other thing I just want to quick draw your attention to is when he talks about the three ways you could pay your taxes. One of the things about the empires that we're talking about is that they tended to do away with this food tax, right? No more food tax. They tended to try to collect their taxes in money or precious metals of some sort. They tried to, weren't always able to, but they preferred it, right? This happened in two places in particular. One being China, the Ming Dynasty, right? Tax collection in silver. The other one being parts of Europe where they also tried to collect taxes in silver, right? The idea being that we want to collect precious metals, right? Because labor can be really hard to calculate. Also, people can die. Food is not going to keep. It's going to go bad, right? But if we could collect our taxes in precious metals, we could hold it and change its value and trade it and do stuff with it, right? So that's why like one of the key differences from like earlier times and now is that empires started to collect their taxes in coins. Anyways, we'll finish this up. It's only got about a minute left.
would destabilise the empire, which is why there were limitations on how much they could be taxed in regular peacetime. That said, in times of war, and war was quite common, special taxes could be levied. The most egregious of these were the farm levy, an extra tax on farmland, and the seizure of church property, mostly its gold reserves. And this was a right in which all Byzantine emperors held because legally the entire empire was their personal property and everyone else only held it with their permission. It wasn't just the peasantry who was subject to taxation. Another major revenue stream for the empire was taxation on merchants and their trade. Unlike the taxation of the peasantry, local nobles weren't included and it was the sole purview of the central government. And so to summarise, that's how the Byzantine government would collect its taxes, via state-paid bureaucrats who travelled the empire to assess land values and levy a tax accordingly. The lords of the peasantry in question would then be required to collect the taxes and pay the next time that the collectors were about. Whilst the
Okay, so he's just going to kind of wrap it up there. But and also, so there's no confusion, the Byzantines are not in the time period we're talking about. I mean, they're technically there for 3 years, and then they fall to the Turks. But the point is, right, empires of old, they would collect their taxes many ways. But one of the things that our states that we're talking about now try to do is they try to collect taxes as best they can through either labor or through precious metals. That's what they like to do. So, little taxation lesson there. Let's get a raffle winner. Okay. Dope. We'll pick 2 raffle winners. How about that? All right. Boom. Who's up first? Abe Nairby. Well, congratulations. Look at that. Okay. Let's get another winner up here. Singlecon. Well, congrats. Glad you are all here. Right. Okay, let's go. Let's get back to some questions. I don't want to again, like I said, don't want to keep you here all night, so let's keep it going. Dope. Easy claps. Okay, good stuff. So the Ottoman Sultan, that is the leader of the Grand Ottoman Empire, the Sublime Porte, right? supported his rule through all the following ways, except one of these does not belong. Hagia Sophia, yeah. Wait, which one survives you, the Hagia Sophia? Rice and Drice, what's good? Good to see you. Doja Card, have you been here before, or is this your first time? Yeah, the stickers are IRL. If you do not attend the educational institution at which I work, you may reach out to me via Twitch and give me an address where I may send them to. Oh, no, he was the caliph. Oh, come on, guys. No, no, no. The Ottoman Sultan was also the caliph. That was definitely part of his rule, right? Definitely part of his rule, right? The Timars were the nobles of the Ottoman Empire, right? Which he tended to try to ignore because he didn't need them because he had the Janissaries, at least in the beginning, anyway. At least in the beginning, he had the Janissaries. Then they sort of, well, I shouldn't say they didn't betray him, but you know, the Janissaries are not supposed to be able to inherit property, right? But all it takes is like one or two really old and sort of not so smart sultans to give them those privileges. Then they become a hereditary class, and then they start causing problems for the empire. Oh, Swags around. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, you're always such a pleasure to have. I'm sorry that you can't make it. So, Single Khan, did that answer your question? So, the Songhai Empire and the Moroccan Sultanates, this is West and North Africa we're talking about here, fought over what? Fought over what? What do they fight over? For those of you who are my students, this would be chapter 25. That's chapter 25, just in case you're curious. All right. Dope. Just out of curiosity, considering where these two states are located, I hope this one was a good. Hope we got this one. Hope we got it. Yes. Well, most of us got it. Yes. The Trans-Saharan salt trade. Yeah. The Sultanate of Morocco, which was located up here, wanted control of some salt mines down here that were part of the Songhai Empire. And Songhai was like, nope. And Morocco's like, all right, I'm just going to come down here and take them. And they did. And then the problem was Morocco was like so far away they couldn't effectively control it. And so they like destroyed the Songhai Empire and then just dipped. They just pulled a SpongeBob. I'm going to head out. So that is R.I.P. Songhai. Alrighty, next. New Whale, thank you so much. I'm glad you remember it. History changed in time since we last did chapter 25. Yes, it's a vortex. Right? Who really liked Protestantism? There are 2 out of 4 here. I sincerely hope we can get them. Back in my day, Songhai was straight vibing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sunni Ali. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. Who likes the Protestant cause? Let's see. Did we get it? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's my fault. I put the wrong answer. No. I'm sorry, guys. That's my bad. It's supposed to be Henry VIII of England. No, I screwed up. I'm so sorry. That's my bad. It was Albert of Prussia and Henry VIII. My mistake. My mistake. I'm sorry. Suleiman was a close friend. I heard his hats were pretty dope. My mistake. Okay. My B. You know what? To repent, we'll do to repent. Let's pick another winner. We'll repent that way. And it's Drain of Wrath. Alrighty. Low-key looking like a Mandarin, though. Dig it, don't tell him. You copped one from him, stole one of Suleiman's hats, and got out with your head. That's a pretty amazing exception. Alrighty. The Reformation, that is the Protestant Reformation, allowed for states in Europe to centralize in all of the following ways, except. Which of these would not have helped a state centralize? Oh, Raghudeep, hang on. Yeah, hang on. I'll hold up. Okay, you can enter again. Dope. All right. Which of these does not belong? Which of these does not help a state centralize? Oh, Sujan, you got it too. Awesome. All right, let's see. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. So here's the thing. Jesuits, they actually do help the state centralize a little bit, but not in the way I've described them here, right? Notice preaching in America/Asia. Not really helping states centralize. Yeah. So the so the Inquisition one, that's a big one, right? We're going to protect the purity of our religion. And by the way, you happen to be a disloyal noble. And I happen to think you may be showing some Protestant tendencies. So I'm going to have to throw you to the Inquisition and take all your land. Dope, dope, dope. Okay. Awesome. Let's keep moving. Next question. Oh, we're at 16. We got 6 more to go. Ave Maria. What's Ave Maria? Maria Avenue? All the homies hate the Inquisition. Actually, you know what? I think that's a sticker idea right there, Single Con. All my homies. Man, forget the Inquisition. All my homies hate the Inquisition. And just have a bunch of Protestant leaders. That would be hilarious, actually. Oh, goodness. Careful, Kiko-chan. Cool. Sikhism. So, this is a faith that the College Board... This is a faith that the College Board likes to describe as syncretic. Now, why does the College Board describe it that way? Right? Well, the answer is the first one. Wow, really? Oh my goodness. Oh my. Well, one person knew the answer, apparently. Wait, oh. Crap. Okay, sorry, this is my fault. I put the wrong answer again. I'm sorry. Yes, it was the first one. My bad. I'm sorry. Yes, exactly. It is. Okay, so I gotta be more careful when I put these together. My apologies. Yeah. So Sikhism is a very unique religion, but one of the things that makes it really interesting is that it is both monotheistic, but it also believes in the cycle of reincarnation. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize, Muwal. I apologize. Tell you what. Instead of doing top 5, we'll do top 10 of this. Top 7. Top 7. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough stickers if we do top 10. Anyways, Sikhism, northern India, what's now Punjab, right, is a faith that includes both monotheism and reincarnation, which is pretty unique. I mean, unless you want to do the whole thing where like you take Hinduism as a monotheistic religion because there's a single life force of the universe, but that's a little bit of a stretch. You know, Hinduism has a pantheon of deities. Sikhism doesn't really. So. I think it's the 5th largest religion in the world, actually. After, I think it's the 5th largest after Buddhism. It goes like Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, I think. 200 million followers, I believe. I could be wrong about those numbers. Ramanjuan? What's Ramanjuan? I do not know. Hope that's not inappropriate. So, Charles V, King of Spain, does not like Protestants. Right? Who also didn't like their opponents. Wait, Ramajan, that's the guy who came up with the Ramajan formula in the 1930s, right? He's the dude, he went to England and he did some math work, but then he got sick and died, right? That guy? Yeah, that guy. I read a book about that guy. It was the worst book I've ever read. Not because of that guy. That book was just terribly written, right? That book was just really badly written. I thought it was interesting. I'd never heard of him before. It was really interesting. Yeah, Aurangzeb and the Marathas, right? So one of the reasons why Charles V didn't like Protestants is because Charles V was a devout Catholic. Dude was devout, right? But, the Qianlong Emperor in China and Tupac Amaru didn't have that much, religious opposition to their opponents. But Aurangzeb definitely had a bit of a religious disdain for the Marathas because he was a very devout person himself. That's why his reputation is considered so negative in modern day India. Who's my favorite mathematician? That's a good question. There are a lot of good mathematicians. But yeah, that Ramajan guy. It's really interesting. I need to read a better book about him, quite frankly, because that book was terrible. It was called the Indian Clerk. It's called the Indian Clerk, and it was written from the point of view of the British guy who brought him to London. It was really weird. All the following are challenges to empires, except which of these is not a challenge to an empire during this time? One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Dope. Let's see who we got. Is it? Yay! The Janissaries, right? Those support empires for now. Swan Pilgarg. Who's that? What did he do? Thoughts on the fall of the Russian Roman Empire? Good question. Cossacks, those are soldiers that work for the Russian Empire and rebel quite a bit when they don't get paid. Yeah, I know. I know he ate my broccoli. I've heard the story many times. I've heard the story many times. Yes, you stole my broccoli while we were doing the project in the library. I recall. I remember. Still eat broccoli, just not in front of the kids anymore, because we all have to wear masks now. Cool. Alrighty. What do we got? What did the Mughals do to accommodate their Hindu majority? Except, what did they not do? Yes, did not begin to persecute Buddhists, mainly because there weren't really any Buddhists left to persecute. There were not really that many. Cool. So, real quick, let's pick another winner before we watch another clip. I got one last clip to show you. We're going to close entries and pick a winner. Dope. Snow12 lol. Congratulations. We'll pick another winner in a second. In the meantime, I got one last clip to show you. It is from, and my students are going to hate me because I've mentioned this movie like 7 times now, but it's really cool. It is from the film Jodha Akbar, and in it, the leader of the Mughal Empire, Akbar, goes into a market to try to figure out what's going on amongst the people. Now, I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure if he ever did this. I can't find any evidence that he ever actually went out among the people and like kind of did this. Kings have been known to do this, but I don't know if he ever did. It's a kind of it's up for debate. But it's only a 2-minute clip. But give it a listen because it's really interesting how the film directors and the script writers, yeah, Single Khan, yeah, you saw him, you were there, man. How they kind of display the complexity of the early Mughal Empire and its rule over what is now India. So we're going to give this a real quick listen. Again, only 2-minute clip, won't take long.
हमें वापस चलना
That's
नहीं ठहरिए कुछ नहीं यही तो हमें देखना
अरे ये तो सरासर जाति और मनमानी है उस मुगल दारोगा की हाँ बिल्कुल नाक में दम कर रखा है
लेकिन वो तो मुगल सल्तनत का वफादार है
ओ भाई नए आए हो क्या ये लो अंधेर नगरी में एक और अंधा इनको दिख ही नहीं रहा कि विदेशी कैसे कैसे अत्याचार कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे
विदेशी कौन
अरे यही तुर्की ईरानी अफगानी
सब माँ के जने विदेशी तो हैं
शहंशाह का शाही दरबार भी इन्हीं से भरा पड़ा है
लेकिन हमने तो सुना है कि शहंशाह बहुत नेक आदमी है आम आदमी की भलाई के लिए बहुत कुछ कर रहा है तुम उन्हीं के पास क्यों नहीं जाते शिकायत लेकर
अजी छोड़िए श्रीमान
Yes, Akbar is the best person ever. Best person ever.
कोई अपना हो तो शिकायत भी करें और हम नहीं मानते कि शहंशाह हिंदुस्तानी है
और फिर मुगल हो या कोई और क्या फर्क पड़ता है सब गैर मुल्की हैं
So again, this is the interesting thing about Akbar, is that Akbar was the first Mughal emperor to be born in what is now India, right? And what is now northern, I think it was northern India. It might be Pakistan. I'm actually not entirely sure. But he was the first Mughal emperor to be born not in Central Asia. His father, Humayun, his grandfather, Babur, they were both born in Central Asia. But Akbar is sometimes considered to be the first Indian-born Mughal. So it's an interesting kind of complicated issue.
अरे भाई शायद तुम्हें पता नहीं है कि हमारे शहंशाह अमरकोट में एक हिंदू राजपूत राणा वीरासला के घर पैदा हुए यहीं पले बड़े फिर वो विदेशी कैसे हुए वो भी तो उतने ही हिंदुस्तानी है जितने कि तुम
अच्छा हिंदुस्तानी है तो आम लोगों के लिए आखिर किया क्या है अगर इस शहंशाह को लोगों की भलाई की इतनी फिक्र है तो तीर्थ यात्रा महसूल क्यों नहीं हटा देता
तीर्थ यात्रा महसूल
भैया लगता है तुम आगरा में नहीं इस देश में भी नए आए हो हम सभी हिंदुओं को तीर्थ यात्रा महसूल देना पड़ता है कि नहीं जिसका पेट भरा हो उसे किस बात की चिंता वो तो आम आदमी होता है हमारे जैसा जो ये सब बोझ नहीं सह सकता और बस पिस रहा है पर क्या फायदा कोई सुनता तो है नहीं चलो चलो चलो
Now, you will be happy to know that in true Bollywood fashion, Akbar does abolish the pilgrim tax, which he does. He did in real life, 1563. But then, to commemorate that, they have a very large song and dance number to celebrate. So, you cannot forget Bollywood when you mix it with history. So yeah, that's the thing about the Mughals, is that early on they really had to take steps to try to portray themselves as actually being and belonging, because they were technically outsiders. I mean, at least in the beginning, like Babur wasn't born there, neither was Humayun, and so Akbar really had to try to take steps to solidify his credentials as a ruler. Akbar radar technician, Akbar radar technician. Interesting. You were in the background shots. Yes, Somayal, you and Sigu Khan were going back in time. Okay, let's. We only got a few questions left. I want to make sure we have time to finish this. Okay, bada bing. All right, we got 3 questions left. All right, and then people can decide if they want to stick around. We want to transition to something else. Cool. Alrighty, so elites. Fulfilled which of the following roles? How they filmed this in like 1600, right? There was no cameras. Also, I love the fact that there's a nice debate going on about the role of Maroons in society, in colonial American society. We must remember they were a force of resistance against oppression. Dope. Let's see what we got here. Adios, Noel. All right. Let's see what we got. Come on. Let's get a mix-up, or let's get some... Oh, that's a nice split. Wow, that's like the most even split we've seen all day. Look at that. Look at that. 7-7-7 across the board. Dope. Yeah. Salaried samurai, bureaucrats, run the place, military forces like the zamindars, right? Zamindars also collected taxes, I should note, right? Now, it's true that Timars did this, right? But not only this, and this was a very small part of their role, right? And French nobles were required to reside in the palace of Louis XIV. Why? Because he doesn't want them like scheming against him. If you have to keep your nobles around you for like 3 months out of the year, no one's going to go scheme and try to overthrow you. So they did fulfill these roles, but not necessarily in the form of like service to the empire. Dope. All right, I think we're on our second to last question. What do we got? Isfahan. When you've seen Isfahan, you've seen half the world. I believe in Farsi, Isfahan na shahan. You also going to have to know where Isfahan is for this one. But let's see if we can get it. Ham and cheese croissant, that sounds delicious. That sounds dope. I can get one of those after we're done here. That might be tasty. All right, let's see. Did we get it? We get it? Oh, ouch. Ouch. Yeah, no, the main rival of the Safavids were the Ottomans, not the Mughals, right? But Isfahan was in the center of what is now Iran, and therefore is positioned to take advantage of that amazing Silk Road trade. Isfahan has the longest market of, at least I am pretty sure, longest market of any city in history. It is a 2-mile long market, a 2-mile long bazaar that runs from the center of the town, which is this square in mosque and palace, for about 2 miles. It's an incredibly long bazaar. So, yeah. So I feel like Yucca Mountain right now. What's Yucca Mountain? Shimeji Simulation, episode 23. Oh, I don't understand these references. But to answer Abe Nabir's question, as a major force, yeah. But locally, right, within the Islamic world, the Silk Road is still really important. Awesome. All right, let's go. Let's go get some last question. See who can... Yucca Mountain. Waste. Nuclear waste depository. Alrighty. Justification for rule. Justifying rule. All of these are religious except. So, process of elimination here. Wait, isn't Yucca Mountain that movie with The Rock and the 2 kids? We got like the taxi cab meme from, where he's like turning around like, no, that's not it. Oh, I thought that was that movie. Awesome. All right, what do we got here? Come on, let's tell me we got something. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Goodness gracious. Different mountain? Okay, different mountain. Fair enough. Yes. Alrighty. The bakufu. This is a term in Japanese. It means tent rule. Tent rule. The idea being that the Tokugawa, the shogun, was not actually the emperor, but he was ruling for the emperor, in the place of the emperor, right? But not the emperor himself. These other terms, these are all religiously justified rules for emperors or shahs or kings, right? But this is just sort of a military government. So, awesome possum. Just to remind you that religious justification for rule remains important during this time period. Dope. Alrighty. Don't even take this class. You get second. Well, congrats. That's pretty darn good. Let's end it. Let's just see who got the top. We'll do top 7. If you were one of those people that got top 7, please let me know. I love the animations on this service. It's great. So we got Lima Lorax, Brandbloom, Gooseberry Grinch, Sunflower Stevens, Lemongrass Lorax, Pineapple Poppins, and Lima Boiling? Is that what it's called? And then Kiko-chan. And Indigo again. And DigiAlex again. And of course you are, Teru. Of course you are. You're just dominating my review games. Okay. And then Dranowaith. And Brambloom. Dope. Alright, that's everybody. You're also Lorax. Liar. You do not speak for the trees. Cool. Alrighty, so with that, leaves us about 15 minutes. I'd like to do one last little review game. I don't think we necessarily need to do multiple choice unless you guys really want to, but I have another kind of review game. There's no Lorax in mine. You don't speak for the trees. But there is something else we could do in addition to multiple choice review if you wanted to, or instead of. With about 15 minutes to go, I don't want to keep you past 10. We could do what's called vocabulary or image review, and that is where you look at a picture, you pick a word, and you tell me which word goes with the picture. You get 4 options. You tell me which picture goes with which word, and then you kind of be prepared to explain it. And all these pictures are somehow connected to Unit 3. We could do that, or we just peep that multiple choice game. We just go do some A, B, C, D, which I'm down for either. With about 15 minutes. Either one is good for me. So let's see. Catch you later, Kuko-chan. It was good to hear. How about this? Let's hang on. Let's just, you know what? Let's keep this simple. Let's just do a poll. Let me just bust out a poll really quick. Hold on. Just make a poll. Here we go. Let's just do this. There we go. Let's keep it simple. Let's just let the data decide. Oh, come on, Ragu Deep. That's not that bad. You could do anything with those pictures. The box pick top tiers. Yes, the box. That wasn't even your year. That was after. That was before your year. You didn't even get the box. I do remember students coming back though from that AP exam. They're like, "Yo, Mr. Little, we got this thing. It's like a box. Like I didn't know what to write about. It was just a box." I remember that. I do remember that. It was interesting. Well, okay. With 5 people voting, I guess we're just gonna go have. But that's the beautiful thing, Rugged Deep. You can do that. You have lots of flexibility. Okay, I guess we're gonna do the. We'll do the images since people seem to be voting a little bit strongly for that. We're gonna mix it up. So, Awesome Possum will finish that, And we're gonna bust out. Okay, so here's how it works. Let me turn on full screen. Now, Sangokan. All right, we got full screen up. Actually, wait, I gotta do one thing before we do that. Gonna move this over here. Okay. All right, full screen up. Here we go. Okay, so as I said before, whoops, no, wrong way. Oh, these are all the multiple choice. Hang on. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. Look at the image, consider what word fits the best, and let me know why. I'd like to know why. Out of your backpack. I hate you guys. Love you guys, but hate you guys. Awesome. So let's give it a try, because this also has a poll feature. I got a poll feature for this as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bust this out. Wait, what happened to my presets? No. It didn't save. Ah, stupid thing. Hang on. Hold on. Hang on. Okay. All right, let's save that. Okay. Awesome. So here's the first example. Y'all can see we got procrastinating be a way of life. I mean, supposed to write what? What were you supposed to write? So here we have a picture. Now, maybe you know what this is, maybe you don't. Doesn't really matter. But the point is, what word do you think fits the best? And we're going to start that. Let's start that poll. Shows up. Geez, we have an essay due at noon tomorrow. I mean, I appreciate you coming. You didn't have to come, though. I appreciate it. Is this a red turban, dude? I don't know. That doesn't really look like a turban to me. That does not quite look like a turban. So... this, I'll give you a hint, is a Chinese emperor. This is an emperor of China. The Red Hat Emperor. I don't think so. Can you vote more than once? I don't think so. I think not. All right. Since we are, let's see. Since we are on a time crunch, we're going to go ahead and we'll just cap it at 4 to 5 votes, depending on how active the chat is, just so I can make sure everybody who maybe isn't voting here but wants to listen in can have some efficient time. So we'll go ahead and we'll close that really quick. So we'll finish the poll. Oh, dang, we got a second one. Zephalox used to number 1. Very nice, Rogu Deep. That is Kang Qi. That's Emperor Kang Qi of the Qing Dynasty. But this isn't just any portrait of Emperor Kang Qi. It's a self-portrait. He drew it himself. He painted himself. Pretty darn impressive in a day before cell phones. So, in terms of which word people chose, it looks like professionalize was the word. Now, I'd be curious to know why that might be. I don't know, did you, Alex or Terry, you want to weigh in on that? But I'd also be curious to know, like, why indigo, why you chose, was it legitimize? That was the first one? Yeah, you chose legitimize. So I'd be curious to know what that's up. For the crypto market to go up. Crypto market's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go all around in a circle. Light the light? Oh, glad you're here. Hat kind of drippy, though. I mean, it's a nice hat. I think it's a nice hat. Ah, promoting literacy, right? Note the books in the background, right? It definitely does look professional, right? These portraits, they were very famous in the Qing Dynasty. They definitely were used to not only promote the cloud of the emperor, but yeah, like drip. No, that's to a certain extent. Now, this is one of the more modest ones. Normally, They're wearing their full imperial garb, like low key, just like complete dragon gold. That's normally what they're wearing. Santa hat can't match. Is that the super idol in the poster? I don't know. Good question. Couldn't tell you. Awesome. Well, we'll go through another one. We'll do a couple because we are running up on 10 o'clock. So this is one of them. This is Kangxi's self-portrait from the Qing Dynasty. Right? How about this one? This is not a self-portrait, just in case you're wondering. Not a self-portrait. Featured, not a self-portrait. So, what word do we think fits best here? Oh my. We all seem to be just diving on that one. Keep it open for about 10 more seconds. With a cheetah skin saddle. Does he actually? Yeah, he does. You're right. He's got that. I didn't even notice that. He's the cheetah skin saddle. That's amazing, actually. That is a good eye. I did not even notice that detail. To answer DJ Alex's question, this is King Louis XIV of France. This is Louis XIV of France. However, as Single Khans has pointed out, he's wearing a leopard skin saddle. Now, just out of curiosity, are leopards native to Europe? Are there leopards in Europe? Just out of curiosity. I know none of us are like geography experts, but are leopards native to Europe? They're not, right? They are absolutely not. Therefore, why in the world is he being depicted with a leopard skin saddle? What is the deal with that? I wonder. Wonder. He copied it from Africa, right? Yeah. That's what we call exotic drip, right? And if you happen to have the exotic drip, that makes you rich, right? Now, I'd be curious for those who put one, maybe one of you, maybe Drano Wrath, if you want to give us a quick rundown, why'd you put number one? Legitimize. Yeah, no, that's the also that's also pretty noticeable, right? Straight angel, straight divine entity right here, just crowning the king. Like, look, I'm literally the hand of the Lord. I'm going to give you this crown, right? It's true though. Also, notice what he's wearing. If you look carefully, notice he's not wearing like European clothing. This is ancient Greek clothing, straight up like Alexander the Great. He's wearing some Alexander the Great stuff right here. I think the Hajj isn't a really good idea right now, Raghudeep, just because COVID. It's kind of a thing. Consolidate. Well, that's a good question. What would be the difference between consolidate and legitimize? Well, consolidate would mean you have something and you need to secure your hold on it. Legitimize would mean you already have something and you need to prove that you are the rightful owner. Legit. Too legit to quit. COVID's a myth. Raghudeep, let's not be. Let's careful with those jokes. Yeah, Drano Wrath. Yeah, no, it's true. This is this is one of the most interesting portraits of a French king, considering that he's being quite exotic international here. All right, let's do two more, and then we'll call it for the evening. All righty. Raghudeep, I think you got this one in the bag. In the bag. I don't know, Raghudeep. I feel like you might have a special insight into what this picture could be depicting. mythologically large a pandemic. It's pretty dang big. Well, the largest in my lifetime. What you gotta understand is for people like me who, your good friend was in that pic. Yo, it's my cousin right over there. Check it. Peep that, homie. You gotta understand about like people my age what COVID means to me, because I was your age too when there was like swine flu and bird flu and avian flu and SARS and like all these things, and every time it blew up and people were terrified, and then it ended up being like nothing really. Or Zika, although Zika was pretty bad in Brazil, but it wasn't here. And now we finally got one. We finally got one that hit us close to home. Finally. So, Ragudeep, what's going on in this picture? What's going on? I'm calling on you. Take the lead, homie. Take the wheel. You got this. What's going on in this picture? I think there's a case to be made for that. But I mean literally what's going on in this picture. I know you know. Because you've already said it. Taking their trip, ice out. Any particular trip? Maybe a super important trip you gotta take once in your life? Yeah, they're Hajjing. This is this dude on the horse. That's the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, and he's on his way. He's going Hajjing. And yes, they are a little trip. They're a little iced out. I mean, they got a camel with they're riding some dope camels. So yeah, a little iced out. So you could very well be promoting trade. But if you were the Sultan of the most powerful Islamic empire in the world at the time, why might you want to go on a Hajj in such a grandiose manner? Why go all out? I mean, you can, but why might you want to? Wealth and power, right? Legitimize. If you are literally the caliph and the leader of the most powerful Islamic state in the world at the time, yes, like Mansa Musa, right? Ottoman sultans trying to imitate Mansa Musa. Also, low-key, I'm working on a Mansa Musa video right now. Should be ready in a few weeks. It will blow your mind. Anyways, cool. Other thoughts on this one? Let's see, who hasn't given us a lot this weekend? Zephylox, you got any thoughts on this? Or any of the other ones in particular? I know you've been voting, but just curious if we could hear your thoughts. Like Musa. Yeah, like Mansa Musa. To professionalize. Well, let's do a quick example. I think actually this might help. Here, tell you what, we're going to skip to this one. Now, this is a military manual, right? This is a manual for the military from Ming, China. Now, why would you need to make a manual for how to use a firearm for your military? Why would you need to do that? What would be the underlying reason, if you will? Well, yeah, your average peasant probably hasn't used a firearm before, right? Your average peasant probably isn't used to using weapons like that. Yeah. So, right? Yeah, you want to professionalize your military force. That'll be Thursday, Ragudeep. See you then. Right, so Zephylox 1, that's to professionalize, right? To take something that may be a little not organized or well-disciplined and make it organized and well-disciplined. Cool. All right, let's just do one more of these, and then I'm going to let y'all head out for the evening because it is getting a little bit late. We took a little bit of a detour there, but let's see. Let's do this one. I like this one. Let's end on this lovely Persian miniature. Bonus points if anybody can tell me. Hang on, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna reset. Bonus points if anyone can tell me who that is in the center. Ibn Battuta. Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. No, that's not Ibn Battuta, but that's not a bad guess, actually. But in the meantime, feel free to cast your votes. What do you think? Are we looking at legitimization, consolidation, professionalization, trade promotion? I don't know. Weigh your options carefully. Weigh your options carefully. A large variety here. I like it. Got a lot of different votes going for this one. Let's see. Indigo, Abner, and Teru. I'd be curious to hear why you picked the ones that you picked, and then once I've heard yours, I'll explain it, and then we'll cut to black. I would just be curious. You can keep it short, just like a single sentence. This guy in the center seems like he's giving away some kind of advice, maybe, to these people that are working. Could be. Gut says Akbar. Well, you're right. It's not Akbar. Ah, so there's some social communication here, right? They look like there was some friendly greeting, and that might lead to trade. Ah, so maybe this is a leader meeting with peasants, right? Doing some one-on-one. It's a little like popping like, hey, peasants, how do you do today? I am your leader, but I want to see how you're doing because I want you to believe in me. Interesting. A possibility, yeah. So real quick, who this is Babur, the founder of the Mughals and grandfather of Akbar. That is Babur. And what he's doing here is he's having workers construct a garden. He's having workers construct a garden. Now this is interesting. I didn't learn this for many years, even though I read a lot of books about the Mughals, was that in Mughal paintings and in miniatures, it was very popular to depict the rulers, and especially the early rulers like Akbar, Humayun, and Babur, as planting and organizing gardens, right? The idea being that these rulers are bringing order to a chaotic, untamed wild land, right? Laying out gardens in squares, right? Where there used to just be untangled brush or, unkempt nature. So in this respect, I don't know. I think it would be fair. I think any of these could potentially work. Or at least I tried to phrase these in ways that any of them could work. But anyways, this is Babur in the garden, one of many different versions of this very particular print. So, coolio. All right, let's wrap things up with a few more winners, and then I'm going to let y'all go. So we'll take 30 seconds. If anyone hasn't already entered the raffle, you can go ahead and now's your chance. We'll give it about 30 seconds, and we'll raffle some more stuff off, and then I'll let y'all go. But I thank y'all for coming out. It's been really wonderful. And hopefully we'll see you again on Thursday when we go over Unit 4, which is a bit more content-wise. But we're going to talk about all those overseas empires and all that good stuff. Yes, the gardening thing is really interesting, right? And how, like, that, we normally think about, like, rulers legitimizing themselves through art in powerful ways, right? But in this case, it's as simple as gardening. Alrighty, then we're going to go ahead and complete it. We'll pick a few winners, and then we will close entries. All right, let's do this. we'll pick 3 to end the night. And if they already won from the quiz game, then we'll get someone else. So, bada bing, who do we got? Kiko-chan. Well, congratulations, Kiko-chan, but you already got a victory from the quiz game, so we're gonna pick someone else. Teru. That is awesome. That is awesome, but you already got a win from the game, so we're gonna get someone else as well. Suraj Deep. Wait, is he even still here? Didn't he dip? Did he dip? Yeah, he dipped. Well, maybe someone can let him know. Someone can let him know. And I'm sure he'd be happy to. I'm sure one of you nice folks will let him know. That would be awesome. I will get 2 more. And Mihwal. Well, congratulations, but you already got the victory from the quiz game, so. Sujan30. Alrighty, Sujan30, congratulations. And we'll do one more person who hasn't won anything today. And who could it be? And it's Foul Legacy. Congrats, congrats. Congrats. Alrighty. Dope. Okay. Well, as I said just a minute ago, thanks again so much, everyone, for coming out. And feel free, we're going to be back on Thursday. And then on Friday, maybe we'll be doing a stream. I'm not sure what we'll be playing. I really want to finish Soma. So maybe we'll do some of that on Friday in the later evening. Or maybe Saturday afternoon. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for coming out. I really appreciate it. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you want a sticker set and we don't know each other IRL, then you can just reach out to me via Twitch, and I'll get it to you as quickly as I can. So yeah, thanks again for coming out. Just go ahead and run down the list. So Abner, Boss Dundee, Business Daddy, Commander, the Bot, Commander Root, Deltox Digi, Alex, Dojo Card, Runaway, Foul Legacy, Galaxy Raptor Indigo 14, Niktab, Painfulest, Plemptbot, hope not a real bot, Ramatu, Rice and Rice, Risimoto, Ramistino, Spike Trap Claire, alrighty, Teru, V, and K. Thank you all so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see all of you on Thursday, if not sooner. Everyone have a great rest of your night.